Travis's phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Mentions, tags, messages, all circling the same image. A photo of him at a downtown Kansas City bar, drink in hand, women surrounding him, laughter frozen mid-frame. And the worst part? He'd told Taylor he was playing poker with the guys. Taylor sat alone in the living room, his phone in her hand, the glow of the screen reflecting in her tear-streaked eyes. She wasn't shaking from anger, not yet, but from disbelief. When the door opened and Travis walked in, smiling like nothing was wrong, she looked up, her voice sharp and cold. "Poker, huh?" The phone flew toward him. He barely caught it. One glance at the screen and his grin vanished. "Taylor, this isn't what it looks like." "Isn't it?" "Because it looks exactly like you lied to me." He tried to explain, words tumbling uselessly. "They were fans, Tay. I didn't flirt." "I don't give a damn, Travis. You always have time for everyone. Your fans, your teammates, the whole world, except me." The photo had gone viral. Every comment, every tag, every question, "Where's Taylor?" She already knew where she'd been. Right there, waiting at home like he said he'd be. When he came in that night, hours late, she had pretended to be asleep. She'd smelled the whiskey on his breath, felt the bed shift as he kissed her forehead, and waited for him to drift off before checking her DMs. The photo was everywhere. Her heart had splintered quietly in the dark. Now, in the daylight, she watched him realize he'd been caught. His face shifted. Confusion, panic, guilt. "You have 60 seconds, she said flatly. "And if you lie again, we're done." Travis didn't sit down. He paced the living room, hands in his hair, words spilling out faster than thought. "The guys wanted to go out after practice. I said no at first, but Patrick and the others, they kept pushing. Said I'd been too serious lately, that I needed to loosen up. You were on that Zoom call for hours and I didn't want to bug you, so I said poker night instead." Taylor's voice cut through the air, soft but razor-sharp. "So you lied because it was easier." "I didn't want to upset you. Then you chose your comfort over my trust." He stopped pacing. She was standing now, her face pale, eyes red from crying through the night. There was a fragility in her anger, a tremor beneath the fury. "You know what hurts the most?" she whispered. "Not the bar. Not even the women. It's knowing that protecting your image, the charming, friendly Travis Kelce everyone adores, mattered more than protecting us." Travis tried to reach for her hand. She stepped back. "I rearranged my entire recording schedule last month just to be at your charity gala," she said, voice trembling. "I left my family vacation early for your brother's birthday. I show up for everything that matters to you. And when I ask for the smallest thing, honesty, you give me a lie." He tried again. "Taylor, I was trying to protect you." "From what?" "From the truth," she snapped. "I'm not your mother, Travis. I won't ground you. I just wanted the truth." Her voice broke on that last word. And in that silence, heavier than shouting, sharper than any insult, he realized she wasn't angry anymore. She was hurt. Deeply. Finally, she whispered, "If you'll lie about something small like this, what else would you lie about?" He didn't have an answer. "Only silence. I need space," she said quietly. "Please leave." He hesitated. "Where am I supposed to go?" "I don't care. A hotel. Your brother's. Back to that bar, for all I care. Just not here." Travis stood there for a long moment, the weight of what he'd done finally hitting him. "I love you," he said softly. "That hasn't changed." Taylor didn't look up, and the door closed behind him. Travis drove through Kansas City with his jaw clenched and his phone buzzing nonstop beside him. He didn't look at it once. Every vibration felt like a reminder of the photo, the fight, and the way Taylor's voice had cracked when she said, "I just wanted the truth." When Jason opened the door, he didn't need to ask. "Come in," he said simply. Behind him, Kylie was already putting on a pot of coffee. In the warm light of his brother's kitchen, Travis told them everything. The lie, the bar, the photo, the argument, the silence. By the time he finished, his voice was rough, his shoulders slumped. Jason leaned back in his chair, arms crossed. "You're an idiot." "I know." No, Trav. You're a special kind of idiot, Jason said, shaking his head. Taylor Swift, the most famous woman on the planet, trusts you, and you lied about something stupid. Kylie chimed in gently but firmly. Travis, women don't lose their minds because you go out. We lose our minds when you lie about it. Because then we start wondering what else you're hiding. I'm not hiding anything else, Travis said quietly. She doesn't know that, Jason replied. From her point of view, you just proved you're capable of lying straight to her face to make your life easier. That's a trust violation, man. Travis dropped his head into his hands. I know up. How do I fix it? Kylie didn't hesitate. You grovel. You apologize without excuses. You show her you get why it hurt. I tried. She kicked me out. Jason nodded. Good, you needed to feel that. She needed to breathe. Travis stared at his coffee, cold and untouched. How long do I give her? As long as she needs, Kylie said softly. But when she lets you back in, don't you ever lie to her again. Women like Taylor don't give third chances. For 2 long days, he stayed there, sleeping on Jason's couch, checking his phone every hour, sending messages that went unread. On the 3rd morning, his phone buzzed with a single text. Travis didn't even think. The moment he saw that single word, okay, he called her. No answer, he texted again. Okay, what? Can we talk? Can I come home? 3 hours passed before another message appeared. I have a show tonight. Sprint Center. You can come if you want, but come to talk, not to watch. That was all he needed. He was there an hour early, sitting backstage in a quiet corner of her dressing area, leg bouncing restlessly. Her security team had let him in, but Taylor wasn't there yet. Her makeup chair stood empty, lights still off, her guitar leaning silently against the wall. When she finally walked in, Travis's breath caught. She looked beautiful, but exhausted. Her eyes were swollen, the kind that told the truth about too many nights spent crying. Hi, she said softly. Hi. For a moment, neither of them moved. The silence between them was thick with things unsaid. They weren't strangers. They knew each other's habits, each other's hearts. But right now, it felt like they were meeting again for the first time. Thank you for letting me come, Travis said finally. Taylor nodded, sitting in the makeup chair. I needed time to think. He swallowed hard. And what did you think? Taylor's reflection met his in the mirror. I think you broke my trust, she said quietly. And that's not something you fix with flowers or apologies. It takes time, she turned to face him, but I also think I love you. And that maybe, this is still worth fighting for. I'll fight for it, he said instantly, voice trembling. I'm so sorry, Taylor. I was stupid. I was selfish. You deserve better than that. You deserve honesty, she studied him. Then tell me the real reason you lied, not the excuse, the truth. He took a deep breath. Because I didn't want to disappoint you. Because I knew you'd ask why I wanted to be at a bar instead of home with you, and I didn't want to face that. I didn't want to feel guilty. So I lied, Taylor nodded slowly. That's the truth. Finally. He looked down ashamed. I'm sorry it took me this long. Her voice softened but stayed steady. You know what hurts the most? It's not the bar. It's that you didn't think I was worth the truth. He closed the distance between them, his voice low. You are, more than anyone. And there's no excuse for making you feel otherwise. Taylor stood, arms crossed. Then show me you understand. Because if you ever make me doubt your honesty again, this, us, ends. I won't survive another lie. Travis met her eyes unwavering. You won't have to. From now on, you get the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. 5 minutes before the show, her stage manager knocked. 5 to curtain, Taylor. She smoothed her dress, took a deep breath, and glanced at him. Will you stay for the show? If you want me to. I want you to. Travis stayed in the wings, half hidden in the shadows as the crowd erupted the moment she stepped on stage. 20,000 people screaming her name, lights flashing, music swelling, and yet all he saw was her, the woman he'd nearly lost. She moved through the set like a storm, precise and powerful. But when the lights dimmed for the acoustic portion, she surprised everyone. Sitting alone with her guitar, she looked out at the sea of faces and said softly, "This song is new. It's about trust, forgiveness, and second chances." Then she began to play. The melody was tender, aching, and as the words poured out, Travis felt his chest tighten. "You broke something precious. Now we're picking up the glass. But maybe broken things can heal if we don't run too fast." And as she sang that last line, she looked directly at him. When the show ended, he waited backstage, his hands trembling slightly. She came in, flushed with adrenaline and emotion. "That song," he whispered. "Was it about us?" Taylor smiled faintly. "I wrote it 2 days ago. Between crying and ice cream." "It was beautiful," he said, voice thick. "Sad, but beautiful." "That's us right now," she murmured. "Sad but beautiful." He reached for her hand. "Can I come home?" Taylor hesitated, then nodded. "Yes, but we're going to have a real conversation. About honesty, boundaries, and what we both need. No more pretending everything's fine. I'm ready," Travis said without hesitation. That night they went home together, and they talked until 3 in the morning, about everything. His fear of conflict, her fear of betrayal, how lies, even small ones, plant seeds that grow into distance. "I don't need permission for you to go out," she said softly. "Just honesty. If you're going to be late, text me. If fans take photos, that's fine. Just be aware of how it looks. It's not control, Travis. It's respect," he nodded. "I can do that. And I'll always make you my priority. You deserve that." 3 weeks later, he proved it. The team planned another night out, and this time he told her first. "The guys want to hit the new sports bar tomorrow. Probably back by 11. That okay?" "Of course," she said, smiling. "Have fun." At 10:45, he texted her a selfie with his teammates. "Heading out now. Home by 11:30. Love you." When he slipped into bed that night, she looked up from her book. "How was it?" "Fun," he said, smiling. "But not as fun as being here with you." "Smooth talker," she teased. "Honest talker," he corrected, kissing her forehead. Taylor laughed softly, the kind of laugh that carried peace. "You know," she whispered as she turned off the light, "broken things really can heal." "Yeah," Travis murmured, pulling her close. "They really can." Weeks later, the photo that once shattered their peace was just another memory buried under something stronger. Trust rebuilt, slowly and deliberately. The world had moved on. The gossip faded. But for Taylor and Travis, it had become a quiet reminder of what they almost lost. They didn't talk about that night often anymore. They didn't need to. The lessons lived in the small things. The text he sent before leaving practice. The way she smiled when she saw his name light up her phone. The gentle honesty that now filled the space where silence used to live. Love wasn't about perfection, they realized. It wasn't about avoiding mistakes. It was about facing them, together, even when it hurt. For Travis, the bar photo wasn't just a scandal. It was a turning point. The night he learned that protecting love meant choosing truth, even when it's messy, even when it's hard. And for Taylor, forgiveness wasn't weakness. It was courage. The decision to believe in someone's change, not their mistake. Sometimes the strongest relationships aren't the ones that never break. They're the ones that learn how to mend. And as they lay together one quiet night, Kansas City lights glowing faintly through the window, Taylor whispered, "We made it." Travis smiled, tracing her hand with his thumb. "No," he said softly. "We chose it."